Bonjour. We will now start with lesson 5, dans la classe, in the class. First we will learn the grammar and then we will do the comprehension. So in this particular chapter we will learn one more new verb, which is avoir, to have, and we will learn about adjectives in French. We will start with avoir. This is another irregular verb, and again this is an extremely important and basic verb of French. There is no shortcut. You will have to memorize the conjugation. Let us see. So for avoir, the conjugation with je is ai, tu is as, il is a, elle is a, nous is avons, vous is avez, il is on, elle is on. Now if you notice, this is e and this is a, two vowels. So the conjugation is starting with a vowel. You will not write je, je, you will make this j apostrophe. So the pronunciation is je, tu as, il a, elle a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, elles ont. I will repeat it once again. Je, tu as, il a, elle a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, elles ont. Now if you remember your conjugation for être, in this case it was sont, and with avoir it is ont. So it's very close. Please learn to identify and differentiate the conjugation, whether it's être or avoir. So in that case the pronunciation is ils sont. In this case it is ils ont. So there's a minor difference. Elles sont in case of être, and in this case elles ont. Okay. Now avoir means to have. So I have, you have, he has, she has, we have, you have, they have, they have. So for example, if I want to say I have a pen, I will start with j'ai, and the word for pen is un stylo. Now one of the most important things, and it's a very basic grammar concept, and if you don't understand it now, you will keep making this silly mistake right till the time you study French. In English, I say I am 10 years old, for example. If you literally translate it into French, it would be something like this. I am, which is your je suis, these are. I am 10 years. But this is wrong. In French, to tell your age, you will use the verb avoir and not être. So literally you are saying I have 10 years. So to tell age, you will say j'ai 10 ans. This is the correct way. Remember, age in French is always conjugated with avoir and not être. So even if you want to say my mother is, let's say for example 30 years, so you will say elle a. You will not say elle est, she is. No, she has. Elle a 30 is 30 ans. So please remember, age in French is always with avoir and not with être. So by now, if somebody asks you to introduce yourself in French or in your exam, if they ask you to write a few things about yourself, these two lines you should be able to say. Your name and your age. So, je m'appelle Riddhi and j'ai 10 ans. I am 10 years or 11 years, whatever the age. So these two lines you should be able to speak about yourself or write about yourself. We will now learn about adjectives in French. Les adjectifs. In French, adjectives agree with the noun in number and gender. Now what do you mean by this? You know what is an adjective. An adjective is something that tells you more about the noun. So in French, adjectives agree with the noun in number and gender. So for example, in English, if I say this is a boy, this is a small boy. So small is an adjective, it is telling you something more about the boy. Now I say this is a girl. This is a small girl. So small again is an adjective, it is telling you something more about the girl. But the spelling of small is exactly the same in English, there is no difference. But if we have to say something in Hindi, ये लड़का है, ये छोटा लड़का है. So छोटा is your adjective. ये लड़की है, ये छोटी लड़की है. So now see, I have changed the spelling of or the word for small. छोटा से I have made it छोटी. I have changed the adjective according to the noun. So the adjective is agreeing with the noun in its gender. Let's take an example. The adjective pati, which means small. So a garçon. I want to describe this boy, a boy. So I want to say a small boy. So I will write a petit garçon. So this is the adjective which is telling you something more about this boy. Now let's say there is a girl, une fille. I want to describe this girl. This is a small girl. So une petite fille. I have to make the adjective feminine to agree with the noun in its gender. The noun is feminine singular. I have to change the adjective also to feminine singular. This is the masculine singular objective. This is the feminine singular. So we make an adjective feminine by adding an E in French. Now let's say there are a group of boys and I want to say these are small boys. So I am talking about more than one boy. I will change this adjective also to plural, masculine plural. So I will add an S. I will make the adjective plural by adding an S. If it's a group of small girls and I want to describe them as small girls. So in case of feminine singular, this is your adjective. I will make the adjective feminine plural. So this is what I mean, that the adjective agrees with the noun in number, more than one or one, and gender. So your four forms of the adjective would be like this. This is your masculine singular. This is your masculine plural. Feminine singular and feminine plural. So your four forms of an adjective. If you are talking about one object or one person, masculine singular, this. Masculine plural, this. Feminine singular, feminine plural. Let's take one more example. Grand, which means tall or big in French. This is a boy. I want to say he is tall. So I can say c'est un grand garçon. More than one boy. These are some boys. If I have to replace some boys with a pronoun, it will be they. So in this case, ILS. They are, I want to say, tall or big. So grand. And because I am talking about more than one boy, grand will be with an S. The adjective will agree with the noun in number and gender. One more example. This is a girl. I want to say this is or she is a big girl. Seth, Yoon, Grand, Fee. The adjective I have made it feminine by adding an E. Now let's say it's a group of girls. These are some girls. They are big, I want to say. So these girls, if I have to replace it with a pronoun, it's they. In this case it is all feminine. So elles sont grandes with an S. I have taken the feminine singular adjective and added an S to it to make it feminine plural. So this is your masculine singular form. Your masculine plural is this. This is your feminine singular and this is your feminine plural. So every adjective will have 4 forms. We will take one more example. Jolie, which means pretty. So this is an apartment, c'est un appartement. This is a pretty apartment, I want to say. C'est un joli appartement. If I am talking about more than one apartment, this joli will become joli with an S. This is the masculine singular. This is your masculine plural. You have made it plural by adding an S. This is a dress, c'est une robe. I want to say this is a pretty dress. So, une robe, it is feminine singular. If I have to make the adjective feminine, I will add an E to its masculine singular form, jolie robe. And if it is more than one dress that I am talking about, my feminine plural form will be Jolie and I will add an S. So there are 4 forms: Joli masculine singular, Jolis masculine plural, Jolie, this is your feminine singular, and Joles, this becomes your feminine plural. So this is what we mean, the adjective agrees with the noun in number and gender. As always, there are exceptions in French. Let's take the adjective mince, which means thin. This is your masculine singular form. Now if you notice, it is already ending with an E. So your feminine singular remains the same. You will not add another E. Your masculine plural, you will add an S. And your feminine plural also, you will add an S. It looks exactly the same. So your masculine singular, feminine singular same, masculine plural, feminine plural is also the same. One more such adjective is sympathetic. Now this is your masculine singular form. It is ending with an E. Your feminine one will remain exactly the same. You will not add another E. This is your feminine singular. Your masculine plural, you will add an S. And for your feminine plural also, you will add an S. So just like means your sympathetic, your masculine singular, feminine singular looks exactly the same. Your masculine plural, feminine plural is also exactly the same. Now there are some more exceptions. Let's take the adjective bon, which means good. B-O-N. This is your masculine singular form. So your masculine plural, how will you make it? B-O-N-S. But your feminine singular, you will double the last consonant and then add an E. So B-O-N-N-E is your feminine singular and B-O-N-N-E-S is your feminine plural. So in this case, you will double the last consonant and then add an E to make it feminine. One more example is grow, which means fat. So this is your masculine singular. Now if you remember the rule that we studied in nouns is that if the noun ends with an S, X or Z in its singular form, then in the plural it remains the same. You will not add another S. The same rule applies in case of adjectives also. So if your masculine singular is ending with an S, your masculine plural will remain the same. You will not add another S. So your singular plural is exactly the same. Your feminine one, same logic as this, you will double the last consonant and then add an E. And your feminine plural, it's not ending with an S, it is ending with an E. So you will add an S at the end. So this is your feminine plural form. One more example that we will do is gentil. It means nice. So this is your masculine singular. Your masculine plural, you will add an S. Your feminine one is same logic as this. So you will double the last consonant and then add an E. So this is your feminine singular and your feminine plural, you will add an S. So in these three adjectives, to make it feminine singular, you will double the last consonant of masculine singular. So in this case another N, in this case another S, and in this case another L, and then add an E to make it feminine singular. And then of course we make it plural by adding an S. But if the singular adjective is already ending with an S, you will not add another S to its plural form. So for example, mauvais, which means bad. This is the masculine singular form. The masculine plural will also be the same because in the singular form it is ending with an S. So your masculine plural is exactly the same as your masculine singular. And the feminine one, you will add an E. And an S at the end because this is not ending with an S to make it feminine plural. The last adjective that now we will study is beau, which is your masculine singular form. It means handsome, and in case of a girl it will be beautiful. Now see, this is ending in EAU. Remember the rule that we studied in noun is if the noun is ending in EAU, we will add an X to its singular form to make it plural. So in this case your masculine plural is BEAUX. This is your masculine plural. Your feminine one is completely different, belle. this is your feminine singular, and belles is your feminine plural. So this ends our topic of adjectives. We will now look at certain examples from the textbook to understand what kind of questions can come for your exam. So let's look at page number 60. The first exercise is just complete with the conjugation of the verb avoir. So if you have memorized it well, you should know it will be ai, as, a, avons, avez, ont, ont. It is a very simple exercise just asking you to do the conjugation of the verb avoir. Now, in the third one, they have asked you to choose between avoir and être. Which verb will come? In this case, you will have to use your common sense. You will have to understand what the sentence is telling you. So, let's say the first sentence. Je dash India. Je dash 20 years. Now, we did that 20 years. You are telling somebody your age. So, age is always with avoir. So, your second blank, the answer is AI. The first one, somebody speaking about their nationality. So, you can't say I have Indian. You will say I am Indian. So, your answer will be je suis. Look at the second blank. Vous dash professeur. Vous dash un livre. So, you have a professor or you are a professor. What makes more sense? You are a professor. So, your first blank has to be the conjugation of the verb être. In case of vous, the conjugation of être is e circumflex tes. The second one is you are a book or you have a book. Obviously, you have a book. So, your conjugation has to be of avoir, which is avez. Look at the third one. Sir dash some boys. Il dash a ballon, a ball. So, these are some boys. These have some boys doesn't make sense. So, sir, and this is des garçons. So, we are talking about something which is plural. So, your answer has to be sont. Sir sont and they have. So, in case of ILS, the conjugation is ont. Now, let's look at the seventh one. Il dash anglais. Il dash quel âge. He is English. So, you can't say he has English. So, il est, you are talking about someone's nationality. So, the conjugation is est. And you are talking about age. Now, remember, again, age is with avoir. So, with il, the conjugation of avoir is a. So, this is how you will do the exercise of avoir and être. Please use your common sense. Try to understand what the question is saying. Translate the phrase and see what makes sense. And accordingly do the conjugation. Now, one of the most common things that you will get in your exam is put it in feminine and put it in masculine or put it in plural. Let us take some examples. So, the first one they have given is il est petit. Il, in the feminine one, he will become she. So, your il will translate to L. The conjugation of est will be the same because in case of il and L, the conjugation is the same. So, est and petite. You will make the adjective also feminine to agree with the noun in its gender. So, if you have to convert this sentence into feminine, il changes to L. The verb remains the same because it's the same in case of il and L, and then pati with an E. The next one is ils sont minces. They are thin. So, ILS will change into ELLES. Sont remains the same because the conjugation for both of them is the same. And in this case also it remains the same because if you remember, means in the masculine plural and feminine plural it has the same spelling. Il est grand. Il changes to L, est and grand with a grand with a E. So this is how you make it feminine. Last example, if we were to take, ils sont intelligents. They are intelligent. ILS, you will convert it into ELL. ES, sont remains the same. This is masculine plural, we have to make it feminine plural. So in this case, you will add an ES. This is your masculine singular. You have made it feminine singular and now feminine plural. So this would be your correct answer. So this is how you put a sentence from masculine to feminine. Now we will see how to make it plural. Let's say these were the two sentences that were given and you have to make it plural. So IL becomes ILS. EST, the corresponding conjugation is sont. This is the conjugation of the verb être. For IL it is EST, ILS it is sont. So please don't forget to change the conjugation as well. And then this you will make it masculine plural. In this case, IL will change to ILS, EST will change to sont, grand with an S. J'ai un crayon is the next sentence they have given. I have a pencil. Now remember, je will change to nous. This is the conjugation of the verb avoir. The corresponding one for nous is avons. Un will change to they. Crayon with an S. So this is how you change. Je to nous. Corresponding conjugation of avoir will change to avons. Un changes to they. Crayon with an S. One more example which has been given in the textbook. Tu as une gomme. You have an eraser. Your tu will change to vous. This is the conjugation of the verb avoir. Corresponding conjugation for vous is avez. Une will change to they and gomme with an S. If we have to take one more example, c'est une gomme. C'est will change to ce sont, une to they and gomme with an S. Now let's do an instance wherein they ask you to change from masculine to feminine. Let's look at some examples from converting from feminine to masculine. So, if the sentence is elle est jolie, elle will change to il, est remains the same, jolie without the e. Je suis belle. I am beautiful. Now how do we make this masculine? I am obviously remains the same. There is no difference. So je suis belle will become beau. If the sentence was nous sommes grandes, we are tall. This is the feminine plural and we have to make this now masculine. So we are remains the same. And grand will be without the E. One last example. You are thin. Now in this case, you are remains the same. This is feminine plural. I have to make it masculine plural. It will remain exactly the same. If you remember, the masculine plural and the feminine plural, the spelling is exactly the same. So this is how we convert from feminine to masculine. Now let's look at exercise number 9 on page 63. Choose the odd one out. So they've given jolie, belle, mauvais and laid. Now if you notice, jolie, belle and laid, they are all feminine singular. They are with an E. And mauvais is masculine singular. So that is the odd one out. So this is how you do this particular question. Now if you look at mince, grand, beau and gros. So mince is masculine plural, it could be feminine plural also. Grand is with an S. Beau is plural, but gros is feminine singular, while the other three are all plural. So grosse is your odd one out. Next one is chocolat, gâteau, manteau and bonbon. So chocolat is your chocolate, gâteau is cake, manteau is your coat and bonbon is a sweet or a candy. Three things are eatables, one is not. So your odd one out is manteau. So this is how you do your exercise. Now we have to give the opposite. Now this is very important in case of adjectives. In the textbook, they have not explicitly given to you that the opposite of grand is pati. But in English, for example, if you know big, the word for big, and you know the word for small, so you know big and small are opposites. So similarly, if you know grand means big or tall and petite means small, so common sense says they are opposites. So if they give you something like this, GRAND, and give the opposite of this, you know your answer will be this. But if they had given you grand with an E, your answer would be like this. So if the adjective that they have given you is masculine singular, the opposite also that you will give has to be in masculine singular. If this is feminine singular, your answer should be in feminine singular. If this was, for example, GRANDS, and you have to give the opposite of this, your answer should be PETITS. GRANDES, if this was what was given to you, your answer should also be feminine plural. For example, bon, which is good. So your opposite will be mauvais. If it was masculine plural, in this case your answer remains the same because the masculine singular and plural forms are exactly the same because it is ending with a S in its singular form. Now you must be wondering what happens in case of mince, because the masculine singular and feminine singular are exactly the same. Just the adjective by itself doesn't tell you whether you are talking about a masculine objective or a feminine objective. So in this case, if you write or this, both options are correct. Similarly, if it was the plural form, this is your masculine plural, both options are correct because the word itself does not give you the clue whether the object that you are talking about is masculine or feminine. In case of a garçon, a boy, your opposite is a girl, technically the opposite gender. So a garçon, une fille, a homme, a man, a female, so une femme. So this is how you do your opposites. Écrivez les contraires. This will be the question that they can give you either in comprehension or in your grammar part. Now the next one is mettez les phrases en ordre. So put the sentences in order. The first one is A/grand et professeur le mince. So please learn to identify how to frame the sentence. First, identify what is the noun. So in this case, it is le professeur, the professor. After the noun, there will always be the verb. So in this case, your verb is est, which is être. So le professeur est. Now grand and mince are two adjectives. So you can write it in either of the orders. So le professeur est grand et mince, or le professeur est mince et grand. He is tall and thin or thin and tall. Both the options are correct. Look at the next one. Sympathique, a, fi, la. So le, la we have not yet studied. These are your definite articles. We will study it in the next chapter. But just like yun, it comes before the noun. Le, la also comes before the noun. So in this case, your noun is fi. So your answer will be la fi. Then comes the verb. In this case, your verb is est, and then the adjective they are talking about is sympathique. So the girl is nice. So la fille est sympathique. Next, now these are two questions. Français avez le de livre vous. It's a question that they are asking. So identify the noun. In this case, it's a pronoun, vous. So you start your sentence with vous. After the noun or a pronoun, the verb will come. In this case, the verb is avez, which is the conjugation of the verb avoir. So vous avez, you have le livre, the book of French. Vous avez le livre de français. Next one, if you identified vous, comment appelez-vous is the formal way of asking what is your name. So either you can write vous vous appelez comment or comment vous appelez-vous. Both options are correct. And next one is indien, oui, suis, je. Oui, you know, means yes. So yes, I am Indian is the sentence. So yes, we identify the noun or the pronoun. In this case, it is je, followed by the verb, which is suis, which is the conjugation of the verb être, and then the nationality. Now I'll translate the comprehension. Dialogue 1. Le professeur. Bonjour. Good morning. Les élèves. They are the students. Bonjour, sir. Le professeur, vous avez le livre de français, you have the French textbook. Les élèves. Oui, monsieur, nous avons le livre de français. Yes, sir, we have the French textbook. Anish, le professeur est grand. The professor is tall. Manuel, oui, en plus il est sympathique. Yes, moreover, en plus, this means moreover in English. He is nice. Dialogue 2. Manuel. Viola Isabel. There is Isabel. Anish. Qui est? Who is she? Manuel. C'est une amie de Caroline. She is a friend of Caroline. Anish. Elle a quel âge? How old is she? Manuel. She is 10 years. Elle a 10 ans. Elle est jolie. She is pretty. Now this exercise, they have asked you to fill in the blanks with a word from the dialogue. So usually in comprehension, you will be asked to find a word appropriate with this particular blank from the text itself. It can't be randomly. You have to find an appropriate word from the text that has been given to you. There could be possibility of multiple answers also. So, vous dash a stylo, you dash a pen. So, obviously what makes sense is you have a pen. So, have is what? Avoir. So, with vous, there is the conjugation of avoir is AVEZ, which is mentioned in the text itself. This one, vous avez le livre de français. Mon père est dash, my father is dash. Now, in this case, either you can write grand or sympathique. Both options are correct. See, you're talking about your father, so it's a masculine singular noun. So the adjective that you will choose also has to be masculine singular. So in this case, grand or sympathique, any of these two you can write. Caroline a une dash Indian. Caroline has a dash Indian. Now what makes sense in this? She has a Indian friend. So in this case, une friend is ami. A-M-I-E. La fille est très dash. The girl is very dash. Now in this case, you're talking about a girl which is feminine singular. So the adjective that you will write also has to be feminine singular. So in this case, you can write jolie, J-O-L-I-E, or you can write sympathique also, because the spelling for masculine singular and feminine singular is exactly the same. So jolie or sympathique, both options are correct in this case. Now just one minor thing. This is a male friend. and this is a female friend. So put it in masculine or feminine. If it is Ami and you have to make it feminine, you can make it by writing Yunami. Or if it is feminine, you have to make it masculine. Yunami, you can change it to Ami. So remember, if you are describing a female friend, it is Yunami. A male friend, Ami. And accordingly, the adjectives will also change. So this finishes our lesson 5. Thank you.